All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our information session for Pine Tree Camp's Dirigo experience. And we just wanted to start out quickly introducing ourselves and talking a little bit. My name is Dawn Robinson, and I am the camp director at Pine Tree Camp. And this is my colleague, Kevin. You want to introduce yourself, Kevin?
Hi there. My name is Kevin Bolin, and I am thrilled to work with Camp Dirigo to support this project and our deaf and hard of hearing youth all across the state of Maine. We're hoping to expand this year also to other New England states if we have open slots for folks to join.
Great. I'm going to get started with the slideshow then. Yep. I can't advance my slide. There we go. There we go. So Pine Tree Camp is a program run by a program of the Pine Tree Society. We are a summer camp for children and adults with special needs, fully adapted, and it's a place where kids and adults can come and experience everything and anything that the state of Maine has to offer for outdoor recreation. We've been around since 1945, and it's we've grown and bigger and adapted more, but we have a full-time year-round staff, and the people that you might interact with if you come to the program will be myself as Dawn, the camp director. I have two assistant directors currently, Nate Pagani and Sarah Belageron. And Nate and Sarah both are kind of the backbone of what we do. They work with me to train staff. They work with us. We work together on program development and getting our program safe and getting our staff and making sure that the highest quality of safety and adaption and everything happens at camp. So they're integral part of what I do. And then the other person that you might interface with a lot at our camp is Lori Chesley. She is the camp relations coordinator. And what she does, what her role is to really help families navigate the application process and anything that you might need to do application wise. We do have an online application, and we'll talk a little bit about that after. But she's really the person, she's the specialist in that area, so she can help with anything getting registered for camp. So, and then we have a whole host of seasonal staff, and so they're all there to support what we do, and then the folks that we work with, the volunteers that we work with for Camp Dirigo. Kevin, do you want to take this part away?
Yes. So Dirigo is a new program that just recently started during the summer of 2022. And I just want to express such gratitude for Pine Tree Camp and inviting deaf and hard of hearing individuals to camp for this unique experience. This program is really about promoting a year-round camping opportunity for deaf and hard of hearing youth from the ages of 11 to 15. Again, if you have campers that are perhaps 10 or 16, depending on their social and emotional development, we can be flexible with that age range. So please feel free to contact us at any time if you are not sure if your deaf or hard of hearing child might be eligible for this program. Our goal of Camp Dirigo is to make sure that deaf and hard of hearing youth become confident, build social skills, and develop their leadership skills. They develop those skills through outdoor and immersive experiences and have the opportunity to learn with their peers and deaf and hard of hearing adults and learn from the community.
Great.
All right, and I will continue here. So during the winter program, we're looking at different activities like a variety of leadership trainings. For example, a group discussion together, talking about different kind of scenarios or situations, and letting the deaf and hard of hearing think critically about the best ways to advocate for themselves, about how to use their strengths to promote themselves within a good role model situation, and think about their citizenship. We'll have team building activities. Often deaf and hard of hearing youth might be the one person who's deaf in their program. And we see that often statewide. And so they're missing out in these unique opportunities to learn how to work with their peers and understand their peers. And through this program, they have peers who are experiencing a variety of hearing levels, and they can look at their peers and find different ways of supporting each other, problem solve, and go through different kind of fun team building activities. The third thing that we'll do is what you might know is deaf and hard of hearing students around Maine don't all sign. And so this is a great opportunity for those who don't know sign language or have really been hoping to learn sign language can meet peers that understand and support their language acquisition and development. Now, of course, with camp, you need to have a lot of fun. And so we're going to be having programs that are going to focus on fun, like snowshoeing and sledding and ice fishing.
Mhm.
And of course, you have to just cherish the tradition of the campfire. And so with, of course, hot chocolate. So that is going to be something that camp will feature as well.
Great. Still killing. You again, Kev.
Okay, great. All right. So with camp, sometimes people think that camp is just about fun, but there's lots of different layers that are involved in camp and the camping experience as we're working with deaf and hard of hearing youth. They have the ability to gain confidence and build leadership skills and think about different ways of doing that. And so we're going to be giving them a variety of outdoor recreational activities, and they're empowered to be involved with whatever kind of activities they feel comfortable with. There's no forcing fun here. There's no forcing deaf or hard of hearing people to do anything that they're not ready to do. We are really going to focus on what they would like to do and empower them to make the best decisions for themselves. Pine Tree Camp and Camp Dirigo programs together really promote the idea of allowing campers experience new things and meet peers that can become lifetime friends and build that connection, because campers have such fun and excitement during the camp experience. And then there's the loss of going back to the everyday life and feeling that sense of isolation, missing their friends. But through this experience, they have the ability to build friendships and keep those friendships going and contacts through emails, texts, video phones, even after camp is done.
Okay.
And again, as one huge emphasis, the concept of Camp Dirigo is to provide deaf and hard of hearing youth the opportunity to socialize, collaborate, and be with their peers statewide.
Mhm. Which brings us to Spice.
Right. So one of the biggest exciting theories within the deaf community to promote deaf and hard of hearing youth skills is the acronym SPICE. Before I go into that a little bit more, I just want you to think about a couple things. If you're ready to cook dinner for your family, you might decide to cook a whole chicken, right? Are you just going to get the whole chicken and throw it in the oven and let it cook itself? No, you're not going to be doing that. The reason is you don't want to have a chicken with no flavor.
Mhm.
And so when you're cooking chicken, you need to add some spices. And you want to have an enjoyable dinner experience, right? So think about that as a metaphor with your child. You want your child to grow and develop, and you want to make sure that your child is well-rounded and has experiences that are fulfilling and make them feel joy, and you want them to be successful. And how they can achieve that through our program is that we are providing the spices, right? So SPICE stands for socializing or social skills. And so all day and all night, they are going to be with their peers. They are going to be focusing on socializing. P stands for physical. And so through our program, we have a variety of physical activities. Like I mentioned, ice fishing, sledding, snowshoeing. So all of the activities that we have are going to help them build that physical confidence to promote their independence in doing those activities. Third is intelligence. Again, we recognize that each camper has a variety of intelligence and different levels of intelligence. And the point of this program is that it doesn't matter what their level might be. Through their peers and their interactions with their other campers as well as staff, they're going to be learning different opportunities to see how the world really works. The fourth is communication. Like I mentioned before, not all deaf and hard of hearing signers, or not all deaf and hard of hearing folks sign. Some use spoken English. And some might have very limited language access. At this camp, it does not matter what communication style you use. We are going to provide a variety of communication opportunities that will encourage a higher level of communication opportunities for campers. The last we see is emotion. All human beings experience different kinds of emotion. For some people, they struggle to understand their feelings or how to express their feelings. They might struggle to look at another person and understand their emotional experience. So through Camp Dirigo, we make sure that the youth involved become more well-rounded in understanding complex emotions in general. Again, that's the best part of camp, is that campers come and they're going to leave a different person because they're going to be very spicy. So remember that.
I love it. It's great.
I love it. Great.
Okay, here we go. So why is this program focused on this age group, Kevin? You can go if you want to. We know that I can, it doesn't matter. We know that really that middle school, going into middle school, going into high school is a really critical time for campers to develop those skills that we want, the spice that we were talking about, interacting socially, developing peer friendships and kind of connecting with people and learning leadership skills. Leadership skills are so key when you go out into the community and can know to stand up for yourself and have that voice to be an advocate for yourself. So we think that that's really what camp is all about for the campers that come to Camp Dirigo and that come to Pine Tree Camp too. So anything else, Kevin, that I missed?
Yeah, again, I want to emphasize that the program itself is for age 11 to 15.
Mhm.
And you as a parent might know your child and of course know them the best. And if you see that your child is 10 or 16 and you feel, you know what, I think that my child would benefit from this experience, please feel free to contact us. And we're very happy to have a conversation with you and see if it's a good fit.
Great. All right. Do you want to talk a little bit about the combined staff, Kevin?
Yeah. All
Mhm.
right. So Camp Dirigo is at Pine Tree Camp. And so we have been so grateful for the staff at Pine Tree Camp who has a breadth of knowledge about the campground and the resources available on campus. At the same time, we're thrilled to say that we have many deaf and hard of hearing adults that are involved, coming from all different parts of the United States, because they wanted to give back to the community and the experience that they had growing up. And they want to give that knowledge to your children. And so we've got folks with different communication skills and amazing opportunities to share with your kids.
It's really amazing staff. So,
Yeah.
so how do you apply for this great program? You can visit us at pinetreesociety.org and just search for the Dirigo experience. We, as I was saying before, have an online application process, and we use a program called CampMinder. And once you fill out, you create an account for your camper, and it does take a little while to fill it out the first time, but then the next any other time that you register for any programs, it all you have to do is go in and update any information that you might have that might have changed for your camper. And we also, like I was saying, we have staff that can help and support you going through that process. So you have to just indicate on the application if you need some tuition assistance. We have scholarships available for this program. We are really very lucky to get a generous grant for it. And we at Pine Tree Camp have an open door policy, so we never turn any camper away based on their inability to pay. So we always have funds available. So don't let funding be a barrier for you. Reach out to us and we will get that all sorted out. So for this 2023 season, we're pretty excited. We have been able to set up a 4-day experience in February. So we're going to be running camp February 17th to February 20th this year. It's the beginning part of the February school break for children here in Maine that go to school. So we figured that was a great time, and Monday kind of kicks off that first day of vacation, but that will be the last day of camp. So we've got a nice chunk of time that people can come out and have a winter camp experience. Then we are gearing up, and I'll let Kevin talk a little bit too, but for our week-long camp in August, and that's going to be August 22nd through August 27th. And then the other thing that's really exciting is we're trying to kind of keep everybody connected during the in-between times that happen at camp. So Kevin and Josh have been running a monthly Zoom meeting for meetups. So I'll let him talk a little bit about those and what we want those to look like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I want to thank Dawn for mentioning Josh as well. I'd like to introduce him, even though he is unfortunately unable to make it tonight. Joshua Seal is the full-time employee of Pine Tree Society and is the director for interpreting services. And he is also really the brainchild of this camping program and was the person who made it happen. So like Dawn mentioned, we're doing a monthly meetup, and we're trying for the second or third Wednesday of the month. And there might be some kind of conflict that we'll keep an eye on. But if folks keep an eye on Pine Tree Society webpage for more information, we can get that out to folks. And like I mentioned, many deaf and hard of hearing youth in the state of Maine are spread out all across the state and experience being isolated in a school system where they're the only deaf person. And so this is an opportunity to connect with their peers once a month, get together and see each other, see faces through Zoom, and we might be even able to have some kind of game or activity. And maybe some months we'll have a deaf or hard of hearing adult from another state come in and give a presentation to talk about their experience or their journey. And of course, we're going to be giving your children time to socialize with each other and connect with their peers.
Excellent. We do still unfortunately, have to talk about COVID policies. We do require that if any camper is staying overnight with us in a camping program, that they are vaccinated, that they have had their full series of vaccination and booster. We try to reduce the capacity of space so that we can ensure that there's adequate spacing in the cabins. Our cabins are very modern so that they have really good airflow, circulation, and things like that. For Camp Dirigo, we actually, masks are not required. If you choose to wear a mask, you can. If you don't want to wear a mask inside, it's harder to talk to one another. So we kind of make that a choice. And we will continue to kind of look as we go forward with our mask policy a lot, depending on if we see a rise in things, but we're outside so much of the time. And like I said, we have really good air circulation in the building. So we felt really lucky. And that's why we do require people to have a vaccination if they're sleeping inside. So that policy is where it sits right now. It kind of changes as we go through the year, but for right now, that's what we're looking at. And people can contact me if they have questions. Then if anybody has any questions, they're more than willing to reach out to us. All of our information is going to be on the website. We're updating our website, but it is pinetreesociety.org is our organizational website. You can email ptcamp@pinetreesociety.org. That is a good way to kind of get general questions answered. And you can always call us by phone, and that's 207-386-5990. And that gets you directly to Lori Chesley, who is our camp coordinator, camp resources coordinator, and she can help you with any questions or forward it on to one of us to answer. So feel free to reach out to us. As well as you can always follow us. We have a social media presence. We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram account, we have a YouTube page, and we have a Pinterest as well, which I don't think we use very often, but we do post a lot of our kind of ads for different events that are coming up on Facebook. That it seems to be where a lot of people look for information, but it also is on our website. So, but either way works. So thank you all for joining us. I think that is my last slide. Yes, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I think we could say good night to people right at this point. Goodbye or good night. It's good night for us, so we might as well say good night. Go ahead, Ken.
Yes, and we hope to see you in February. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks so much.